We just had our countertop guys go through, and let me show you a few things that we talked about as he went through. So we're in the kitchen right now. One of the items here is we actually have a little skirt that comes down in front of this cabinet. It basically is kind of doing like a fake farm sink. So we had to go over, how is it going to overlay here? How far does the countertop come out? How far does it come down? How does it integrate with the doors? Okay, that's a little bit more of an advanced detail. Another thing here is we're going to have a little shelf here. Okay, there's our little modem that we use to run the Wi-Fi in the house. So here we're going to have the sill coming down. Then we're going to have the 45 going down to the backsplash so we have a nice clean edge. But over here, we're going to stop the backsplash here because we don't want it returning. So these are all little details you have to think about. As in here, we're going to have the countertop go right up to the gable over here. Whereas if I go over here, this is the opening for the stove. I want the countertop to stop right at this edge. So I've made sure that he notes that. Let's look over here. This is the island. You can see it's a smaller island, but we've got written here, okay, this is going to be a 1/2 inch past this point. So this is where the gable is going to end. We want this to carry over a 1/2 inch. Forward here, we want 1.25 inches. So from this point, I want 1.25 inches forward. You can actually see the line here. This is where the cabinet doors are going to end. I want basically about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch overhang here. If I go to the back side of the island, I want this actually be 12 inches past. So he's got here plus 12. That essentially for him knows that he's going to carry this over. So now let's try going over to the powder room. So this may seem like silly stuff, by the way, but it's really, really important because these are the details that matter when you finish your home. Let me show you another little feature here. So in here, we have the powder room. Now you guys can see from this side, we actually have this little lip. What's going to happen here is we're going to actually have the countertop be flush with this outside gable. And the reason for that is if you look here, we're going to actually have a step back in the cabinet. Then the cabinet's going to come out like this with the gable. And we actually want the countertop to come over. So we end up with this little reveal. And what that's going to do is when you look at the cabinet here, that little reveal is going to carry around to the front. I could go over probably 50 more things when it comes to countertops, but it's really important that you guys understand that you need to be on site with your countertop guy when he comes because there's going to be lots of questions that he has. But you also have to think about those details. It's not as simple as just putting countertop in because being in charge of those details and making sure they look right is what separates your job from others in the end.